Welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at a story that might seem small at first, but actually reveals a lot about military planning, politics, and long-term defense strategy. Uruguay has finally approved the delayed purchase of its third AB-412 helicopter for the Navy. Sounds simple, but the backstory is dramatic. Let's start from the beginning. The Uruguayan Navy had a clear plan: to operate 3 Augusta-Bell AB-412 helicopters. Why 3? Because in military aviation, 3 is considered an operational minimum. 1 helicopter can be on a mission, 1 can undergo maintenance, and 1 can be used for training or emergency standby. This cycle keeps the fleet active without overloading any single machine. But things did not go as planned. The government at that time, despite expressing political support, could only finalize the purchase of 2 helicopters instead of 3 due to budget limitations. The file for the third one was created, approved, and even budgeted, but never signed off by the acting president, so it just sat there, literally blocked by a missing signature. A classic example of bureaucracy freezing military readiness. Now, under the new administration led by President Yamandu Orsi, the file has finally been signed. The Navy has been officially authorized to move forward with the purchase. This means fresh negotiations will begin with Leonardo, the Italian manufacturer of the AB-412, to lock in pricing, training packages, and delivery timelines. So why is Uruguay insisting specifically on the AB-412 model? There are 2 main reasons. First, it is the most suitable helicopter for Uruguay's maritime environment, especially for patrol missions, search and rescue, coastal surveillance, and even intercepting illegal fishing or smuggling vessels. Second, keeping a fleet of the same model reduces maintenance complexity and training costs. Standardization means efficiency. So why is Uruguay insisting specifically on the AB-412 model? There are 2 main reasons. First, it is the most suitable helicopter for Uruguay's maritime environment, especially for patrol missions, search and rescue, coastal surveillance, and even intercepting illegal fishing or smuggling vessels. Second, keeping a fleet of the same model reduces maintenance complexity and training costs. Standardization sours efficiency. And here's something important. These helicopters are meant to operate from Uruguay's new offshore patrol vessels being built in Spain. Without compatible helicopters, these new ships would be sailing without their most critical eye in the sky. So this purchase isn't just about buying a helicopter. It completes an entire air-sea operational system. But there's also a political side to this story. The Uruguayan Navy had recently clashed with government leadership on certain policy matters. So for this administration, approving the helicopter purchase is not only a defense upgrade, it's also a political statement. It signals that despite disagreements, the Navy will get modern tools to operate effectively. Interestingly, this acquisition was originally supposed to coincide with the 100th anniversary of Uruguay's Naval Aviation Unit. The Navy had hoped to present the third helicopter as a symbol of modernization. Instead, due to delays, the celebration passed without it. Now finally the approval comes. A bit late, but still significant. Let's discuss what happens next. Giving political approval is just step 1. Now comes the real test. Will Leonardo offer a competitive price like before? Can Uruguay secure training and spare parts packages? And most importantly, how fast can delivery happen? Because in military procurement, a delay of months can easily turn into a delay of years, if not followed up consistently. Operationally, adding a third AB-412 dramatically improves flexibility. A 2-helicopter fleet is always stretched. If one breaks down or goes into deep maintenance, you instantly lose 50% of your capacity. But with 3 helicopters, mission planning becomes smoother. especially for missions like maritime patrol, medevac, and coastal security. And let's not forget Uruguay's geography. It has a massive maritime zone, rich in fishing routes, and vulnerable to illegal activity. In such waters, helicopters are not just transport tools. They act as rapid response units, flying radars, and visual intercept platforms. Without them, even the most advanced patrol vessel is partially blind. So yes, on paper this looks like a small acquisition, just one more helicopter. But in reality, it's a strategic move that completes a naval aviation cycle, supports new patrol ships, boosts surveillance capacity, and signals that the Navy will not be left behind in modernization.